Envoy for Gatherius 30. The prestigious paths for the uniconcrete as we have known throughout history. The human being is inseparable from other animal creatures. Except through the biological structures that lie in the mind, these are the cells that regulate work of genetic genes, and they produce bodies. It is expressed as a laboratory equipment for a factory that operates automatically and copies itself in existence without end, and this is the trait of living beings, especially all animals. And therefore the human being is nothing but a serial number in the same list, and does not distinguish it from its colleagues from the total of animals except for its sublime behavior, which was elevated according to the transcendence of its mind distinguished by nature. Thus, his actions became different from other categories of animals, and whenever he ignored the role of his mind in any activity he is undertaking, in terms of implementing his behavior or actions, he totally recoiled from, whereas the human who the mentally sophisticated to the list of his other colleagues of the animals where his body lies absolutely by virtue of nature. Thus it may become a lethal or a monster, negatively affecting the life of mankind, as is the case of animals in its forests. And in this context, human societies have resorted throughout history to the promulgation of laws and customs and traditions, which have been called general social aspects and taken as religions and creeds hypothesis, and remain in that special personal rights, provided that he does not violate rights of others. But that these are laws and customs and traditions the public, it must evolve and change from one age to another, according to the nature of the beings advanced by the development of his mind and the breadth of his knowledge, or only any community environment in the human societies became a fossilized environment attached to an era of history, reflecting in another time, a socially humiliating situation. Germs grow in it, flies feed on it, strange creatures multiply in it, and monsters fight in it. So we in the Unicom Creed, we models our paths which keep pace with their contemporary times from time to time. So follow us in the details. These pathways belonging to those whose practice blurs the Unicom approach as a social creed, and not for activists, followers or readers of Unicom's philosophy as a comprehensive thought or scientific activities for the sake of knowledge and consciousness. Those prestigious paths are personal attitudes, based on the basic principles and intellectual visions of the Unicom Creed in terms of the nature, destiny, and origin of existence in the universe, and the necessities and requirements of humanity and life. They are thinkability, not believability. Prestigious paths for the Unicom Creed from 1 to 3. 1. We think in and do not believe in. For example, Unicom's philosophy is based on the theory that there is no creator or maker for the universe with contact or relationship with our world known in the past or present, which makes that no one knows about its existence or the truth behind the universe, its origin and destiny, available among humanity. Asterisk, we in the Unicom Creed think in validity of this theory and do not firmly believe in it because no one knows what will happen in the future, or will the human mind reach these conclusions one day? On the truth about the origin and fate of the universe and the existence of a creator, or beyond all of it, we are not in a state of constant suspicion, but we live in situations of open and progressive visualization, and we do not believe that this being is necessary in terms of its importance for the existence and destiny of humankind, as long as it has not been achieved its very existence. And so we, as a creed, we think and unexcited of a creator for the universe. He was or in known connection to our human environment, and we do not believe in its existence or its non-existence. For example, Unicom's theory is based on the fact that the human mind is the solution to everything, and that there is no other being that can enter into the arrangement and fate of the universe or organize human affairs and save them except the human mind itself. Asterisk. We in the Unicom Creed, we think in the ability of human mind and no one else to strive towards facing the challenges which facing the human being, and to provide remedies and solutions. But that we do not believe in the ability of the human mind absolutely to meet all challenges and provide all solutions. and we think that the nature has factors that may exceed and overshoot capabilities of human mind, but that we do not believe in that, because we think in the continuous development for the human consciousness according to the obstacles that pose challenges to continuity of its existence. 2. We advise and direct and not forbade and not punish. In the Unicom Creed we provide advice to the public on following a method, behavior, proposition, activity, or path according to its positives, or for leaving or avoiding a method, behavior, or activity according to its negativity, and also to the same extent that we direct the public to perform an activity or act according to its health and importance, or not to perform many of the aforementioned factors due to its error or uselessness. In the same wording, the Unicom Creed doesn't forbade any method, activity, or work the human does, and no one is punished because he practiced a method or carried out an activity, no matter what that happened, because the forbade, the prevention, and the punishment are duties and responsibilities of authority and lawfulness. And that authority and law, according to the concepts of Unicom Creed, do not legislate it, do not commend it, do not implement it, and do not order its implementation, except a collective contract for a human society based and agreed upon the concepts and the interests and the human requirements within the collective formulation of humanity at all. However, the Unicom Creed is a social creed. Its objects are conductary, cultivationary, voluntary, optionally, and not mandatory, and not observationary, and not punitively, and not disciplinary. For example, as Unicom Creed, it is not her duty, goals, or principles to compel any person or monitor anyone or punish anyone for what he wears, what he eats, what he drinks, what he espouses, what he does, or what he acts, or how does he do, because that the society in any society is a diverse and numerous social system by virtue of their biological nature and their human customs. As long as their number exceeds one person, and that the creed or religion and any faith or religion is part of all, even if all of them are believers or walkers for its approach. And that compulsory inclusiveness in belief and the faith and thinking is abuse, violation, deprivation, and contradiction with reality of nature, and with the concepts and life requirements of human beings. So we, as the Unicom Creed, from our duty and our goals and our principles, to advise by every what may make influence positively or prevent negative influences on human beings and their cosmic environments, wherever they are and however they are, and to direct and provide all that is positive product according to humanitarian concepts and their requirements, as we are an integral part of it. Every being has a right and a role in his society by virtue of the cosmic nature. 3. We defend as minimal as possible and do no harm anyone. Defense in the human frameworks, it means preserving existence from extinction and continuing continuity in the life. Because we are within factors of a cosmic system, they are inseparable from each other, and they are all continuing today as they were in the past, and they must continue towards the future. And because harm is evil, and evil is the embodiment of the act of ugliness, so it is a contradictory factor with beauty, which is one of the most important factors of humanity. And therefore we must not harm any while we are in the context of humanity. Accordingly, there are 4 prestigious factors that control the positions of the Unicom Creed and everyone who followed its approach when making any decision, or determining any position, or performing any activity, namely, the consciousness, the pain, the existence, and the humanity, are taken on 2 criteria. They are negative dimension and positive dimension, with considered of 3 elements are: 1. Source. It is the actor, the source of the act or activity. 2. Targeted. It is the object in which action of subject is fall on directly or indirectly. 3. The recipient. It is affected based on its relationship to the subject source, or based on its relationship with the recipient. These considerations are taken according to effective act, whether in the present, the past, or the future. For example, When you teach a human 1,000 years ago how he commits suicide in order to triumph, then everyone who fall under impact of that, if negatively or positively on him at any time and anywhere. It has an outlet in the vessel of the first source, the subject, and this applies to any act or activity, whatever its type, or whether it is negative or positive. As a result of your continuous fruits in the existence, and that the actions are like strains of beings grow and develop because the birth of any being in the universe. It is a subject from the subjects. Asterisk, when you do something, or when you eat something, or when you drink something, or when you take a step, or when you say a word, or when you worship a god, or when you establish a relationship, or when you do some activity, or when you get to know someone, or when you wear something, or when you buy something, or when you sell something, or when you give something, or when you receive something, or when you write something, or when you read something, or whenever you hear something, or when you see something. We in the Uniconcrete judge them based on these factors, considerations, standards, and metrics based on voluntary personal responsibility. In order not to harm ourselves and not harm others as human beings, and not from an ideological, no legal or legitimacy standpoint, because we firmly thinking that there is no faith, no law, no legitimacy, and no obligation over the consciousness of human mind, and thus we control our behaviors by ourselves, according to what achieves our safety and happiness for all of us, and so is the happiness and safety of others. In that these are our concepts and concepts of humanity, and it is the meaning of freedom for those who are wondering what you do not want and do not accept for yourself as compulsion in it. Do not accept it and do not do it to anyone other, because both of you are reflect the mirror. One day same picture bounce back in you. To you the salute, and until we meet.